talk about how to get a distinction on an FMP on a UAL creative program. So I've downloaded all these resources from the UAL website, and I'm going to show you a sample of distinction work that's classified as a good portfolio. So let's open it up. Okay, so I will tell you in terms of my viewpoint of how you could potentially get a distinction on an FMP. So obviously most portfolios are now digital. There's no name, so this portfolio is unanimous, and it has come from a sample portfolio from UAL. It's art and design, stage 3, unit 3, which is the final unit that students do to get the overall grade. So the FMP basically dictates whether you're going to get a distinction, pass, or a merit. So you're looking at a distinction. So to begin with, student has looked at different components of this artist, Andy Warhol. Me personally, I wouldn't choose that for an FMP because it's a type of thing you probably do on a level 2 or GCSE level. But this student's looked at this, and they have looked at different elements of the artwork in regards to color, composition, narration, target audience, demographic, stylization, links to popular culture, symbolic meaning, links to popular cultural icons such as Marilyn Monroe, screen print techniques, contrast effects. So they have analyzed the production of these images as opposed to giving an overview of the art itself. Here's another one, and a bridge, similar sort of thing. Looking at the different elements of how this designer produces their work. So they've looked at a couple, so I'm just going to flick through this. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 artists they've looked at. Then they've looked at Man Ray. Little bit of information about who the person was, so don't overdo this because that's the sort of thing you'll get off the internet. But what they did do quite well is they looked at the components that they liked, for example, here. And then they talked about the different work that they sort of kind of liked and how the geometric shapes, stylization, forms and shapes composed to make these images together. Linked to the artist. So one of the key things for you to get a distinction on an FMP is to link what you do to the artist's work and then show on a slide or on a presentation their work, your work, and how you have linked it into your work. And then if you can reflect on how things went, whether it went well or not, that will also support and justify your production at a level 3 program. So mood boards. So collection. So this project's about collections by the looks of it. Looking at what collections is. So mind maps like this. I personally would probably add a bit more to this. Some ideas about what collections mean. And what they could suggest by the looks of it on this slide. Some images of personal own collection of images by the looks of it. And then this is quite interesting. The student has now found an artist over here, which by the looks of it they're inspired by, and they're thinking on how they could potentially apply this stylization, graphic stylization, into this work. Taking loads of photographs, and by the looks of it, of different perfumes by the looks of it that they own. Done imagery of collections of these things in response to their mood boards like these. So there is a linkage there. Got all of these. So these mood boards. So interior design, looked at interior design as well. Notes as they're going along in terms of what they're doing. Looking at things on YouTube, for example. So looking at different mediums. More research into artists. More primary research. So they've gone to Oxford by the looks of it. Gone to an Oxford trip. Taken photographs. Again, collective range of images of things to do with collection. So they're not just going and photographing things within a gallery. They're looking at things that are linked to their project. For example, collections of these heads or collections of people on these boats. So there is some very linkage to their project. It's all very specific. Again, some more tile-based images looking at historical things. So this looks all from their visit. All very linked. So again, look at all these dinosaurs. So the students considered that a collection of dinosaurs is a collection. And that's very, very good as well. Okay, so collections of artists, collections of imagery again here. So all this stuff is very, very much linked. Some mind maps, some more research. So this is a lot of research. Initial ideas, gone to initial ideas now. More mood boards. Now this is probably where this project kind of like starts. So they've got like thumbnail drawings. They're starting to experiment with different techniques of drawings. So they're using different methods, drawing them out, by the looks of it, cutting them out, making lots of different techniques. And as you can see, the project is evolving. There's constant development, different technique, different technique, different technique, different technique, different technique. The student is doing multiple different methods of production. Reflection. What you have to do on these FMP projects to get a distinction is add multiple reflections as you go along. Be careful with your grammar, but just go as you go along and do as many reflections of the processes and the development of your project. That will give you again a distinction grading. Okay, so students that really sort of go through and sort of talk about their work really get distinction. So again, look, all this development, different colors, reflecting on their work, looking at how it's being produced, whether the effect has worked well, linking it to their research is very, very fundamental in getting research. Color palettes, digital work, so they've not just gone practical, they've also gone down the digital route and create these digital components as well. Looked at photography, use of photocopier and the photocopier, so manipulating the images to get a different tone. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 different techniques with the same components that they're going to make. So look at kind of kaleidoscope kind of effects, and it keeps going. They've ripped it up, they've broken it back. That kind of links to their research a little bit. This bit over here. So there is a very, very robust element, close-up shots of their subject, some screen grabs of the tutorial. Maybe they could have described the production process here. By the looks of it, they're doing this on the phone, so they're using new media. There's no reason why you can't use your phone to manipulate these things these days. Putting it into position. So this looks to their interior design they did right at the beginning of the project. Looking at kaleidoscope again. Look, they looked at some research, and this has been linked to the photograms that they looked at right in the beginning. Some color variations, and they looked at color palettes. And you can see the flow, the development of this project, reflections, loads and loads of different types of experiments. And to get a bibliography that's very detailed, and an evaluation that's very super critical about their overall production. So if I was to summarize, to get a distinction, you need to have really, really good, reliable research. You need to make sure you reflect on work as you go along. You need to make sure that you link your experiments to your research. You need to make sure that you showcase a wide range of both practical and digital, and also virtual, and also 2D, and also 4D, which is video, and also maybe 3D, which this student could have perhaps visualized in their work to develop a wide range of work. This portfolio clearly demonstrates the student has put a lot of effort to create a portfolio that demonstrates a high level of creativity. And if you want to get a distinction on a UAL program, whether it be art, whether it be media, whether it be graphics, whether it be photography, you need to put as much effort into your portfolio as this student has done. All right, guys, thank you for listening. And hopefully that's been useful for your courses that you might be on, and it might help you to get that distinction. Please don't copy this. Students look at these and they sort of see this and they think, "Oh, I'm going to do like this." Do it in your own creative way. Remember, you're on a creative course, and your portfolio should demonstrate your unique creativity in your own creative way. Don't copy this. You know what I'm trying to say to you. Use it as a guide. Good research, link to research, reflection, lots of different practical digital experimentations, a robust critical evaluation, lots of development, but in your own way and in your own style and what you're good at. Okay? Thanks for listening, and I shall see you for the next one.